All right, 7th graders. We're going to go through some examples of what to do when you're graphing and you have to shade. Okay? Yesterday we talked about putting in a point like 0, 0 that's on a side of the line to decide if that point makes the inequality a true statement. Okay? Today we're going to look at some equations and graph them as part of your assignment. So let's start with number 1 on the back side. Read the inequality. Joey, you got it?
Y is less than X.
Y is less than X. All right. Now, the first thing I want you to do is think about this and pretend that this is just an equal sign. If it said Y equals X, you would know what to do, right? We've all of the equations that we've looked at to this point are Y equals something. What if it said Y equals X plus 0? What form is that in? A slope-intercept form. We could graph that in our sleep, right? You would mark what?
0.
0. And
Go up 1 and 1.
go up 1 over 1. Now, look at the equation, or the inequality that's given. Okay? It's really similar to that. The only difference is, since it's an inequality, we have to shade it as part of our answer instead of just graphing it with a line. Okay? So, we have to graph this as an inequality. What kind of line should we use? Nikki? A dashed line. Yep. So, that's the first thing you should do on your worksheet, is put a dashed line on there. So I should mark 5. Are there numbers on your graphs?
Yeah.
Okay, you're lucky. You got yours is already numbered. Okay.
Pretty.
Now, once we have our dashed line, now we have to decide which side to shade. Okay? It says Y is less than X. But is this the less than side or is this the less than side? We don't know. This is the negative side. This is sort of a lower side. It's a negative side also. So we can't tell. We have to choose a point and put it in and see if it works. So then you have to decide. We can't use 0, 0 on this one. Our line goes through that point. It's not on either side, right? So we have to use a different point. You can pick any point you want. But like I said before, it makes sense to choose a point that has a 0 in it, because it makes it easier to simplify. All right? So pick a negative.
0, negative 1.
0, negative 1. That would be right here. That's on a side, isn't it? So let's pick 0, negative 1. Now be careful that you substitute it in the right order. Does that make the equation true?
Yes.
Negative 1 is less than 0. Is that true? Yes. True. So which side should we shade? The side that has that point that makes it true. This point makes a true statement. So we should shade that way. Shade this side. And those of you that love to color, this is your favorite math lesson of the year. Alright? You can color with your colored pencils. Okay? I know some of you love to use highlighters. Alright? Yep. Let's do the next one. Number 2. What's the equation?
X plus Y is less than or equal to 2.
Plus Y is less than or equal to 2. Okay? Now, again, if this was just the equal sign, if this was x plus y is equal to 2, could we easily, let's just find some points that work for this. Oftentimes, when you have this equation in standard form, you could solve it for y, or you could just find, well, 2 plus 0 is 2, and 0 plus 2 is 2, so let's just use those points and graph it. Okay? Yes?
So you basically just do this whole thing like we did before, just do the extra stuff at the end?
Correct, exactly right. You just do what you've done before, graphing the line, finding the slope, or finding points that you can graph, but then you have to draw a specific type of line, either a solid line or a dashed line, and then put a point in to see if that point makes it true. Let's graph this one. Where's 2, 0?
Well, just go to the right.
Yeah. And 0, 2. Right? Draw a line. Again, here's 5. We always have to number our graphs. Now, which side should we shade? Well, in this case, 0, 0 is one of the points, isn't it? So, let's put 0, 0 in to see if it's true. We have to put it into the original equation. 0 plus 0 is less than or equal to 2. Is that true? 0 less than or equal to 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, shade that side. Okay. Let's go to number 5. Wait, no, number 4. Well, maybe we should do number 3. Let's do number 3 together. Alright, that one's a little different. Let's review solving this for y. Less than or equal to 4, right?
There's no y.
Greater than or equal to.
Greater than or equal to 4. X plus 2y is greater than or equal to 4. Alright? How would we solve this for y? Henry?
First you'd add negative x.
Yep. Wow, that's a good. You want to hear the most annoying sound
The
in the world?
bagpipes are returned.
Go in the gym right now.
Henry just opened his mouth and just been like,
This is
2y is greater than or equal to negative x plus 4, right?
Yeah.
you
By
divide
both sides
negative
by
x and 4 by 2. And
But everything by
2.
2.
So that'd be y is greater than or equal to negative x over 2 plus 2.
Why did I put the 1 there? Do we need that 1?
Yeah.
What do we need that for, John?
But so you know that's 0.5x? Negative 0.5x?
How is that going to help us graph?
So you know, oh, you need to go down 1 over 2.
Now you got it. That's the slope, isn't it? Yeah.
Now look what
Now-
the line says.
5, 5, negative 5, negative 5. Let's graph this. Isaac, can you graph this?
Okay, go up 2,
Yep.
and then you go down 1, and go to right 2.
Down 1 and right 2. Yep, good job. Now, we have to graph it with a certain line. Y dash.
Solid, bro.
Solid line. Now, put a point in. 0, 0. We can use 0, 0 again.
Yay.
0 plus 2 times 0 greater than or equal to 4. Is that true? No. This is false. Stop. Now, one of the things, class, when you put in the point, I've seen people do this. They put in the point, but they forget when they say that this is false where that point was from. And so then when they put that point in, they accidentally shade the wrong side even though they figured it out, but they still shade the wrong side. So when you put in a point, mark that point on the graph. It just helps you to figure out the coordinates, helps you remember which point you're using. So mark the point, then put the coordinates in, figure out true or false, and then shade. Okay? Number 4.
Whoa, that was a big guy.
Yeah, number 4. That's another one where it just has x is something.
Greater than -2.
Greater than -2?
Yeah.
What does that mean? How do you graph that? Again. Oh, you do, Chase. X. What if it said x is equal to -2? What does that mean?
X is always -2.
Good, Michael. What does it mean, Chase?
X is always -2.
So what does that mean? It just stays on -2, doesn't it? So it's a vertical line. Is it solid or dashed?
Dash.
Yep. So it's a dashed line.
I win one.
Now, can we put in 0, 0?
Yes.
That's on the side. It says that x is greater than -2. Which way do you think would be the greater than? Would it be to the left of -2 or the right of -2? To the right. Yep. Okay. Now we're going to get to some fun.
Yeah.
All right, and those of you that have your color pencils or have 2 different shades, now you're going to really have some fun. Number 5.
Oh,
So we've been talking about systems of equations. What is a system again? What is a system of equations? Joey? It's a group of equations. In other words, we're going to graph more than one, 2 lines on the same graph, right? What are the 2 equations we're going to use? Actually, they're inequalities, aren't they? Joey?
Y is greater than or equal to -x plus -2.
Yep. And?
X minus 2y is less than 4.
We have 2. All right. Now, if this said equals, what form is this one in? It's again y-intercept form, isn't it? So let's just graph that one right away. Okay? Let's start with this one. All right, go ahead and graph that one. You should know how to do this one by now.
Yep.
Graph it yourself. It's -2 and then down 1 over 1, isn't it?
Oh, that's
Right? Right? And should we use a solid or dashed line?
Solid.
Lines.
solid, bro.
Okay. Now we need to shade this because it's an inequality. Can we put in 0, 0?
Yes.
Yep. So put in 0, 0. 0, 0 plus -2 is that greater than or equal to? Is 0 greater than or equal to -2?
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, so then we should shade for 0, 0, right?
No kidding.
Okay.
That's the shade.
Should we keep those spaces?
Now,
Should we just keep them spaced?
no, no.
Okay.
Now, we still have to do this one, okay? So, this one we have to add something. We have to do something to this one. What do we have to do here? Probably solve it for y to get some points, okay? Because when we are solving, we have to think of this, so to try to get y by itself. So we have to add -x again. Then -2y is less than -x plus 4, right? Let's see. Yep, divide by -2, and what do we have to do with the sign? We have to reverse the sign. Okay? So, copy this down so you practice that. Copy solving this in the margin. Dylan,
I did not have
stay focused. You have that copied? Now we should be able to graph that. How do you simplify this? Right? So, here's -2. Then what? Go up 1 over 2. Mark it with a
Solid dot.
Nope.
a dashed line. This is why you'll need more than one color when you're doing this. Okay? So you can see the two equations.
Pencil
Right.
and a darker shade of pencil.
You can use pencil and pen. Alright?
Can I use Sharpie highlighter?
And now, we're not done yet. What do we have to do? We still have to shade this.
Y is less than.
So can we use 0, 0 again? We can. Look on, that's the upper left side of that line. So put 0, 0 into this equation. Or you can use this one. 0 minus 0 is less than 4. Is that less than 4? Yep. So we should shade which direction? Away or toward 0, 0? Yeah, it's true, isn't it? If 0, 0 is true, then we have to shade this side. Now, do you notice which area is double shaded? It's between these two. So this area right here
We need 3
is
colors.
the double shaded region. No, you don't need 3 colors. Hey, listen. Class, listen. The side that, or the area, the region that has 2 colors is the answer. Okay? All of these areas have less than 2 colors. The overlap is the answer. The overlap makes both equations true, or gives you a true statement when you plug in those points. So what I want you to do for homework is 6 through 10 on that sheet. And 18 to 21. But finish this worksheet. Or no.